So the Juggernaut Tactical featureless grip, there's a lot of discussion on this specific grip and whether it is considered featureless. In this video, I'm going to be tackling some of my opinions on whether or not this is a featureless grip. As many of you are aware, maybe some of you aren't aware, I am a licensed practicing attorney in the state of California, but I am not your attorney, and I am not recommending that you do one thing or another. This is just some general education. This is just some additional food for thought and some things that you should consider if you're going to put this grip on one of your firearms. So real quick, before we jump into this video, I want to thank one of the main supporters of the channel, and that is USCCA. USCCA provides legal protection / carry insurance for law-abiding citizens like me and you. So if you're considering picking up some sort of carry protection, I always recommend USCCA. And I'll go ahead and pin a comment down below and also put a link to USCCA in the details. So there's some background information that we have to cover and discuss so that everybody can come to the table with an understanding of what exactly a featureless grip is, why you would want to put a featureless grip on a rifle, and some of the statutes and language that are in California that dictate you having to have a featureless grip on a rifle configured in a specific way. So as many of you are aware, in California, we have an assault weapons ban, or a ban on assault weapons, and that is essentially codified in our statutory language. So to get around that, people configured their rifles in specific ways. One of these was to configure rifles in specific ways to make them featureless rifles. And why they're considered featureless rifles, or why the language of featureless rifles came up, is because the language in the California statutory code that defines specific features, offending features, that made a rifle an assault weapon. And this language can be found specifically in Penal Code 3515. So essentially this penal code made any semi-automatic centerfire rifle that does not have a fixed magazine but has any of these offending features an assault weapon. Those offending features were pistol grips, collapsible stocks, flash hider, forward pistol grip, grenade launchers, and some other just random things. And so why companies like Juggernaut Tactical came out with featureless grips is because they wanted to circumvent this language, making any semi-automatic centerfire rifle that didn't have a fixed magazine but had a pistol grip on it an assault weapon. Essentially what companies said is, okay, we can get around the pistol grip language if the grip that we make does not meet the definition of what a pistol grip is. So we need to look at what exactly does the language in California define as a pistol grip. And this will help us also determine whether or not the Juggernaut Tactical featureless grip or alleged featureless grip is actually a pistol grip or if it is not. So the pistol grip definition can be found in Penal Code 5469 subsection D. And what this says is a pistol grip that protrudes conspicuously beneath the action of a weapon means a grip that allows for a pistol-style grasp in which the web of the trigger hand between the thumb and the index finger can be placed below the top of the exposed portion of the trigger while firing. So that is your definition in California of what a pistol grip is. If the Juggernaut Tactical grip meets that definition, it is a pistol grip and not a featureless grip. So the first thing is a pistol style grasp. Well, there's a pistol style grasp with the Juggernaut Tactical grip, but there are some other things to take into consideration whether a grip like this is a pistol grip. For it to be a pistol grip, the web of your hand between your index finger and your thumb has to be below the center opening essentially of your trigger. And so this is the line in which pretty much is a no-go. If the web of your hand between your index finger and your thumb drops below essentially this line of center right here at any point, or if you get a pistol style grasp that has your hand drop below that, it is considered a pistol grip. And so that is why there's a lot of discussion on the Juggernaut Tactical grip, is because a lot of people are able to get pistol style grasps where maybe technically your hand drops below that center line, but you can still access the trigger. This is contrary to some other types of grips. For example, I have this grip right here that has a fin on it. The reason why this is a featureless grip, and I stand behind this being a featureless grip, is which a lot of grips of this style have fins on them, is because you cannot get a pistol style grasp. Essentially, your thumb cannot wrap around the grip. Instead, the fin prevents that. So one of the next main things I want to talk about is Juggernaut Tactical's actual marketing and discussion and description of what exactly this grip is. because that's actually important for some things that I'm going to discuss later in this video. So Juggernaut Tactical actually markets this grip as a featureless grip. They expressly call this a featureless grip. And so I'll read to you the description that they have on their website. It says, yet another CA's first innovation, Juggernaut introduces the most aggressive CA compliant grip yet, making your rifle a featureless and compliant firearm. The Juggernaut featureless grip offers comfort, safety, and accuracy while complying with a new California law, allowing operators to keep their other features, including a regular magazine release. So Juggernaut Tactical's marketing expressly is saying that this complies with California law. This is actually contrary to some other companies who have come out after this grip has come out, like Thorsten, who pretty much said that if they could have done this thing, they would have done this. Many of you are probably familiar with the Thorsten stocks. Maybe a lot of you have them. It has a very similar angle on their stock, but it then also has a stock attached to it. It is not a standalone grip. Contrary to that, Turner's Outdoor has actually had their legal team look at this specific grip and has, I guess, come to the determination that this is a California compliant featureless grip. So a lot of people say that this is a big gray area, that this grip falls in a gray area where maybe it's compliant, maybe it isn't. Juggernaut Tactical says it's compliant, Turner's Outdoor says it's compliant, but other companies say it's not. And a lot of other people, California residents, also believe that this is not compliant. And for me, I think this is a huge gray area as well. Mainly because, as I mentioned before, based on how you grip this featureless grip, your hand, or the web of your hand, which is the very critical part of that definition, can drop below that center line. Now, this may not be designed for you to grip it in that specific way, but the fact is you are able to do so. So does that make it fall under that definition of a pistol style grip? For me, if I was going to advise people of whether they should put these grips on their rifles, their featureless rifles that they're building, I would say that if you're going the featureless rifle build or the fixed magazine avenue, what you are trying to do is you are trying to bring your rifle into express compliance so that you don't run into any issues. Why then would you put a grip on your firearm that is a huge gray area? Really, at that point, you are just opening yourself up for potential issues. Now, there are some other things I want to discuss in regards to the Juggernaut Tactical featureless grip, and it's something that I haven't heard a whole lot of discussion on. And that has to do with some of the nuances of, okay, let's say maybe you do have this grip on your featureless rifle, you're arrested, something happens, and now they are trying to charge you with possession of an assault weapon. One of the good things that I kind of like about the way that Juggernaut Tactical is marketing this specific grip is that they are so expressly clear in stating that this is a California compliant featureless grip, that it meets the California laws, making it a featureless grip. What I like it for is for the individual who might find themselves in a courtroom. If I was defending someone who maybe was arrested with one of these grips and is being charged with possession, what I would do if this went to a jury is I would say, look, jury, what actually happened is my client was trying to make a compliant rifle. They were trying to comply with California laws. What they did is they went to this website, they went to this company, and this company was marketing that this grip is featureless, that is a California compliant grip. My client then purchased that, believing that it was a compliant grip. This company marketed it as so. Now, whether or not that would fly and whether a jury would convict you, I don't know, but it gives you that extra layer of insulation in protecting yourself because Juggernaut Tactical is marketing this as expressly a featureless grip. One of the other things that I like about this, which is good for the individual, not so good for Juggernaut Tactical, is this could potentially also bring up some things like product liability issues. I was kind of bouncing this around in my mind, especially when I got a lot of questions about the Juggernaut Tactical grip, and it had to do with, since Juggernaut Tactical is so aggressive in their marketing, saying that this is a California compliant grip, that it complies with California laws, what then would happen if someone was arrested, charged with possession of assault weapon, and maybe even convicted? This would maybe open Juggernaut Tactical up for civil liability. I could very much see someone then suing Juggernaut Tactical because the individual trusted what Juggernaut Tactical was saying in marketing this as a California compliant grip, and then that individual was actually arrested because it was not a California compliant grip. California has strict product liability, and so what this means is that all products put into the stream of commerce here in this state are subject to specific warranties. And if there are things like design defects, if a company fails to warn an individual about specific design features or other type of things that are related to their products, that company can be on the hook. And so what this could open Juggernaut Tactical up for was things like design defect or failure to warn. So when you look at things like design defect, a design defect is a product that is defectively designed when it is built to its intended purpose, but the design itself is inherently essentially unsafe and can cause some sort of harm or injury. Now the question would be, okay, if you are arrested and convicted of possession of an assault weapon, does that fall under the harm or injury? If I were to bring a claim against Juggernaut Tactical on your behalf, if you were arrested for something like that, I would very much argue that you were harmed, there was an injury to you, because essentially you were arrested and charged with possession of assault weapon because of the design and marketing of Juggernaut Tactical. This could also fall into the failure to warn. There could be some sort of harm or injury if you're arrested and charged. And the argument could be that it was the responsibility of Juggernaut Tactical to not actually market this as a California compliant grip, but to say that, hey, this grip is kind of in a gray area. We believe that is compliant, but we haven't got any confirmation from the DOJ or anyone else that this is actually a California compliant grip, that they consider this a California compliant grip. So those are just some additional things to take in consideration and some extra layers of protection that you could have based on how Juggernaut Tactical is marketing this grip. Now, one of the last things I want to address with this specific grip has to do with some individuals who do not want to purchase this grip because it is really expensive. It is $80, and I actually just bought this grip for this specific video. A lot of you were asking me to do this video, and so I decided, hey, I'm gonna put a video out covering this, I need to purchase it, but it is $80. I think when all was said and done, when I actually paid for it, it was like $90 to get this grip. And because of this, what a lot of people are doing is there are some 3D print scans that are going around, and people are actually 3D printing their own grip. One of the things I wanted to bring to your attention is if you go this route, what you are losing are all those things that I discussed prior. You are losing your product liability potential claims. You are losing that argument that if you were to find yourself in a courtroom saying that, hey, I bought this from Juggernaut Tactical and they marketed it as a featureless style grip. It even says that it complied with California law. You are losing those arguments because that grip that you 3D print, although it may potentially be in the specs of what a Juggernaut Tactical featureless grip is, it is not a product that was actually sold to you by Juggernaut Tactical. So if you go that route, you may be saving yourself the $80, but you may be losing out on some potential legal claims down the road. So ultimately, what is my determination on the Juggernaut Tactical featureless grip? In my opinion, is it a featureless grip, and would I recommend it to you guys? In my opinion, I think there is the potential for the way that you could hold it that makes it actually a pistol grip. And because of that, I cannot recommend you guys use this on your California compliant featureless builds. My recommendation is if you're going the route of making a featureless style grip, go ahead and put a grip on that rifle build that you know is compliant. Don't go and put something on there that is a gray area, because then you are just defeating the entire purpose of your compliant build. So if you have any questions, go ahead and comment down below and I'll try to answer those to the best of my ability. If you like this video and you'd like to support the channel, one of the best ways to do that is to join the Patreon, and I'll put a link to the Patreon down in the details. And another way to support the channel is just like, commenting, and subscribing. And so as always, thanks you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and never forget, this nation was built by armed scholars, and this nation will be maintained by armed scholars.